Okay, good morning, class. Alright, so please pick up the pieces of paper under your chairs and tables before we start our discussion. Alright, and then please rise up because we will be praying. Okay, Anna, please lead the prayer. Okay, thank you. So, who is the class monitor? Oh, Jeffrey, it is you. So, who is the absent for today? Okay. So we have 5 absent for today's class discussion. It's too many. Alright, so last time we have discussed something and we do an activity. So what have you learned about that activity? What we have done last meeting? Okay, can you please share to the class? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so class, please tell your classmate, remind them to attend the class regularly from now on because next week we will have our exam. Okay, so we have here our objectives. So these objectives are my expected learning outcome from you. So at the end of our lesson, I am expecting that these 3 objectives was effectively implemented in our lives. Okay, so kindly please read the first one. Okay, all together. Compare the difference between length, masses, and volume. So at the end of the class discussion, at the end of this lesson, you are to compare the difference between length, masses, and volumes, assuming that you already know that. Okay. Second is that measure length, masses, and volumes. And the third one is that value the importance of knowing how to measure. So with the cooperations of your class, 101% cooperation, I am asking you for that perhaps we would be able to accomplish these objectives for today's lesson. Okay. Okay, now, as you can see, there are 4 jumbled letters wherein you are to arrange that so you could find the mystery or the word that is need to be found. So for those, just like the other days, for those who first accomplish the task that is given to them, they will be given a prize. So we will have here in our mystery box. So for the first one to arrange this one, the jumbled letters, to get the correct answers is that they will be given a prize. So I'll be giving you 5 minutes to do that. Okay, time is up. Who get the correct answer? Alright, yes, you're correct, Mike. So okay, so I will be giving your prize later after the class, so please do remind me. So for those who didn't get the correct answer or almost got there, but then the time was up, I wish you good luck. So next time, I wish that you would do better. So you could be one of the recipients of our gifts in our mystery box. Okay. So the first word is the length. Very good. And then the second is that it is about. That is, what word is this? Alright, volume. And then the third one is that, okay, a mass. And then the fourth one is that measurements. Alright, so based on the activity, how do you find it? Okay, I was glad that you enjoyed it. Based on the activity, what do you think would be our lesson for today? All right, very good. So about the measurements. Okay. So let me remove this one. Okay, so you were correct. Our topic for today is about measurement. Measurements of length, mass, and volume. So, do you have any idea about length? How about mass? Or volume? Okay, since you have no idea, there's no problem with that because as we go on with our discussion, eventually you will learn about length, mass, and volume. So for the group 1, you are to measure book, pencil, chalk and crayon. So you are to use ruler. So for the second group, group 2, okay, so you are to measure glass, empty bottled water, and rocks, stones or rocks. Okay, so you're going to use weighing scale. And then the third group, you're to measure orange juice, water, and cola. So did you bring your materials with you for each group? Okay, that's great. And so I will be giving you 10 minutes to do that activity, and then I'm giving you also 5 minutes to present. Each group will be given 5 minutes, okay? So 10 minutes will be the maximum time for you to do the activity. Let me change that. Let's make it 5 minutes. So 5 minutes presentation and then 5 minutes to finish the activity. It's not too hard. Okay, so for each group, we are going to use this template. Okay, so the materials would vary depending on what group are you, okay? So you will work as one. Materials, you will list all the materials here. Say, for example, the crayons, books, etc. And then the measurement of the book. So you use the ruler to measure the book. So you will put the measurement of the book. Okay, do you understand? Is it clear? Okay, no more questions? Okay, so I'm giving you 5 minutes, so your timer starts now. Okay, so as I was looking at you and at the back, well, each group of the three groups are presenting, I must say that you did very well. So I want to congratulate everyone. Okay, so you did a great job. Okay, so let us remove this one. So based in the activity, since we are talking about measurements, so when we want to measure how long an object is, just like what the group 1 did, what are we trying to measure? Okay, Andrew? Okay, very good. So we are trying to measure the length of an object if we are trying to find how long it is. Using what tools could be used in measuring how long the object is. What tools could be used or equipment. Okay? Alright, so thank you so much. So just like a while ago in your activity, the group 1 used ruler for their measurement. You can also use a measuring tape for your activity a while ago if you don't have ruler with you. So it's just the same. So you can use that in measuring the length. How about when we want to know or to measure how heavy an object could be, just like what the group 2 did a while ago in activity. So you measured how heavy the rocks are. So what are we trying to find? Okay, very good. So we are trying to find the mass of that object. And then what tools could be used in finding the mass? Okay, group 2 are raising their hands. I suppose they know the answer. Okay, very good. You can use the weighing scale. And then how about when you or me are trying to find what the amount of liquid could fit in a container, or how much a container could hold a liquid. So what are we trying to find? Okay, she's smiling. Obviously, it is volume. Okay, so what are the tools that we could use in measuring volume? Okay, very good. So you were answering as you were saying, as your classmate was saying, we can measure volume through, okay, measuring cups or measuring spoons. You can do that. All right, so very good. Okay, so just look at the board. So this is how it does. So this table shows the property and units of measurements. So for the properties, we have length, we have mass, and we have volume. So the units of length are centimeter or meter. So you can use also cm, which is a lowercase cm, stands for centimeter, or lowercase m for meter. So some measurement doesn't say that or doesn't indicate the full word centimeter. Sometimes only the symbol or the lowercase was there, which is cm. So that is okay. It is still measurement. Okay. So for the mass, we have G, stand for grams, or kg. Oops. Okay. Or kg stand for kilograms. Okay. Just like just like for the length, the units of the length is that you can also use grams as a whole word, or you can use the lowercase, which is G, stands for grams. They are just the same, so it also applies with the length. Okay, next is that the volume. The units of volumes are ml, stand for milliliter, and L for liter. So you have to be familiar with the units of the properties of every properties for the length, mass, and volume, so that you will not be confused. So say for example, I told you that um, the question says that centimeter, 1 centimeter, and then you put 1 cm, so that is correct. But when I say also that 1 centimeter and then you use this one, that is also correct. Okay, so you have to be familiar. So when you're measuring length, the unit should be used are centimeter and meter. Okay, so you cannot use meter when you're measuring volume, and you cannot also use grams or kilograms when you're measuring a length, because that is for mass. Okay, is everything clear? That's great. Okay, so let us not remove the table, so you will have something to look into as our discussion goes. Okay, so we have a question to ponder. The question is that the length of the basketball court is letter A 8 meter, letter B is that 8 centimeter, and the letter C is 8 kilogram, and letter D is 8 liter. Okay, so raise your hands for those whose answers are letter A. Okay, very good. How about for letter B? Raise your hand, please. Your right hand. Okay, thank you. And how about for letter C? Okay, thank you so much. And the letter D. Okay, thank you. So, why do you think that letter D is the answer? Okay, thank you so much for your answer. Okay, so but the correct answer is that it is letter A. So why letter A? May I have your idea? Okay. Oh, thank you so much. So your classmate was correct. That it is letter A because, okay, so it is said that letter A is 8 centimeter, and then the question is that basketball court. So let us go back to the choices. For letter A, 8 meter. So 8 meter is falls on length. Okay, are you following? That's great. So letter B is 8 centimeter. The properties that is being measured is also the length, which is here. Okay. For letter C, 8 kilogram, and then the kilogram is, the unit kilogram is for mass, when you're measuring mass. Okay. And then letter D is 8 liter, which falls for volume. Here it is. Are you following? Okay, that's great. And so, I ask you, let's go back to the question. I ask you, what is the length of the basketball court? So since we go back to the choices, so for letter D, it says that 8 liter volume. So we are not measuring liquids here. It's basketball court. Am I correct? Okay, so X. No, X. Okay, so letter C, 8 kilogram. Okay, so for kilogram, it falls to the mass. We're not either measuring how heavy is the basketball court. Okay, we are measuring the length. So it falls to here, centimeter and meter. Okay, so since it is centimeter and meter, so for letter A, it says that 8 centimeter, and then letter A is 8 meter and letter B is 8 centimeter. So 8 centimeter is so small compared to 8 meter. So since basketball court, I assumed that the basketball should not be 8 centimeter long, not unless it is a mini basketball court. Okay? So is everything clear? No questions, no clarification with regards to the question. Why the reason why the answer is letter A. How about the letter B? Do you have any questions? Why letter B is not correct? Okay, I'm glad that there's no more questions. Okay, so since it's okay, can I please remove this one? Are you done copying this? Okay, so I hope that you are all copying what is being posted in the board, so that later in our exam, next week, you will have something in your notes to review. Okay, so let me remove this one. I hope that everyone are following, because I will not be repeating this anymore. So as much as possible, if you have questions, if you have clarifications, kindly please raise your hand and do not speak or shout. I'm asking you to raise your hand so that we would understand each other. Okay. Okay, so for your information, I was mistaken. This is not milliliter, okay? This is, okay, that's okay. That is millimeter. Okay. So, as you can see, this is the metric unit, and then the basic unit of the length in the metric unit is the meter, which stands for lowercase m. That was what I'm trying to say a while ago, which was I'm discussing to you. So every one of you. Okay, so 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters. 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters. And then 1 meter is equivalent to 1,000 millimeter. 1 kilogram is equivalent to 1,000 grams. And then 1 gram is equivalent to 1,000 milligrams. 1 liter is equivalent to 1,000 milliliters, and then the 1 milliliters is equivalent to 1 centimeter and also 1 gram. So they have the same value. Okay, so if it is the case that 1 kilometer is equivalent to 100 meters, 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters, and 1 meter is equivalent to 1000 milliliters. So I have a question here for you. The question is that which is larger? Okay, so if this is the case, okay, which is larger, 1 meter or 105 centimeter? Okay, so since there is 1 meter and then 105 centimeters, so which is larger? Okay, so very good. Since the equivalent of 1 meter is 100 centimeter, and then it says that which is larger, which is longer, I mean 1 meter or 105 centimeters. Even if it is centimeters, since it is 105, the longer is 105 centimeters. Okay, it doesn't mean that it says there meter that is longer than the centimeters. It depends upon the number of centimeters. Okay, so you're correct. Okay, so how about 4 kilometer or 4,400 meters? So 4 kilometers, you have 4 kilometers and 4,400 meter. Since every meter is 1,000, equivalent to 1,000 meters. So if it is 4, this should be 4,000. Am I correct? Yes, very good. Which is longer, 4 kilometer or 4,400 meters? So this says that every 1,000 meters, the equivalent is 1 kilometer. Since it is 4 kilometers and it is 4,400 meters, so this should be 4,400. This should be 4,000 meters. Okay, if this is 4 kilometers, since it is 1,000. So the larger is 4,400 meters, not the 4 kilometers. Okay, are you following? Okay, so very good. I'm glad that everyone are following. So if you have a question, please raise your right hand. And the second question is that which is heavier? First is 1 kilo or 1,500 grams. So what this is 1 kilo, 1,500 grams. So which is heavier? Because every 1 kilo is equivalent to 1,000 grams. And so, okay, I will not answer. Let me hear you. Okay, Jonathan, please. Okay, very good. So your classmate was correct. Jonathan was correct that it is 1,500 grams. 1,500 grams is the heavier compared to 1 kilogram. Okay. So do I need to give you more examples so you will understand? Okay, so since there's no need, I am very, very glad that you're really following. Okay, do you have any questions so far with our discussion in this metric units? Okay, I'm glad that there's none. So can I remove this one? Are you done copying? Okay, so thank you. Please tell me that if you're not yet done copying, so that I will not remove it immediately. So I will give you time to copy. Okay. Okay. Class, what can you see in the board? Okay, a two picture. So do you know how do you call this? No. Okay, so how about this one? Okay. Since our school cannot provide or do not have an equipment like this, I will show you how to do it. Okay? Since our school do not have this kind of, oops, oh my gosh, this kind of equipment, we'll be showing you pictures. So, this is so-called triple beam balances. Can you see clearly? Okay, so that's great. So triple beam balances. So this is this equipment is used to measure the mass of an object. So if you're trying to measure mass, you can use this one. So these are the steps. I provided you the step. We have 5 steps. So the first one is, okay, let us read all together, since I haven't seen also this this equipment, to tell you honestly. So let us all together learn how to use this equipment, okay? So for the first step, okay, oops. It is not only me who is learning here, okay? It is also, it is not only you who is learning here. It is also me. Okay, so for the first step is that, okay, let us all together read the first step. Place the film canister on the scale. Okay, let's all together read. Slide the large weight to the right until the arms drop below the line. Move the rider back 1 groove. Make sure it lock into place. I will not remove the picture, so you will have the vision of how a triple beams balances looks like. So now for number 4, are you? Is it clear from the back? Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay. Repeat the process with the top weight. When the arm moves below the line, back it up 1 groove. It's so messy because we're not supposed to remove the steps, so everyone are following, okay? So for number 4, let us all together read again. Slide the small weight on the front beam until the lines match up. Are you done copying this one for the step 3? Can I put the step 5? Is it okay? Okay. So thank you. Step 5. Add the amounts on each beam to find the total mass to the nearest tenth of a gram. So that is it. Okay. So how about the second one? Are you familiar with this? So this is the so-called graduated cylinder. It is a measuring tool used to measure what? Of course, it is not a length, but it's also not a mass. It is volume that we're measuring using this one. So you're going to put the liquid, or say for example, extract or the juice of a what kind of juice can we use? Okay, perhaps an orange juice. So since there were number here, so when you put the juice inside in the tube, you will see the amount of liquid, or of the amount of orange juice inside this measuring tool. Okay, so is everything clear? Okay, no question, clarifications about the measurements of length, mass, and volume? Or do you have something to say that you haven't understand something a while ago while I was talking? Because so that we can do something about it, because tomorrow we will discuss another lesson, so we cannot go back to this one. We will have a short recall or recap, but then we will not discuss it anymore. So it is better to say what you have not understand today, so we can fix it or we can do something about it. So do you have any questions so far? Okay, so I assume that since everything is clear and there's no question, that you will be ready for our assessment for today. So get a sheet of paper. Okay, so give me a situation before we answer this quiz. Can you please give me a situation where we usually measure mass, volume, and length? Okay, let's cover this one. Can you please give us some situation? Okay. Oh, very good. Thank you so much. So, we can use, we usually use the measurements such as mass. When we go to the market, when we buy an apple, we measure it. How many kilogram are you going to buy? Or how many gram of a cotton are you going to buy? Okay, so we measure it. And the length is that when we are going to drive far away. Okay, so your classmate was correct. She was saying that when you're going to drive away, so how far have you gone? So when you travel from your house to your church, so what is the measurement? Perhaps it is 5 centimeter away. Not centimeter. 5 kilometer away from your house. Okay. How about the volume? Okay, thank you so much, Alexis. So your classmate says that was correct, that we can measure usually volume when we're cooking. Okay, so when we're cooking, say for example, we're baking a cake, and we measure milk. What else do we measure? Water, or any liquid ingredient used in baking that particular cake. Okay, so are we clear? So do you know where we should usually measure length, mass, and volume? Okay, so it is very important that we know how to measure. We do not say that I am 1 kilo away from my house. My house is 1 kilo away from the church. So we do not say that. So we would say that my house is 1 kilometer away from the church. Okay? So, very good. So now I hope you're ready for you. Did you get your paper? Alright, so you will start later. Do not start yet, huh? I will explain first to you the direction. So, direction says that answer the following question and state your reason why this is the correct answer. So you will not only answer this one, you will also explain why this is your answer. So I will be giving you 10 minutes for that. And finish or not finish, you are going to pass your papers, and your timer starts now. Okay? Good luck. Okay, since everybody are done, I will remove this. Get your notebook and copy your assignment. So, let us also get a video your assignment. Surf the internet and find out how to measure the volume of the solid objects, and also what is the definition of water displacement. Okay, so you will going to surf, and then you will jot down it on your notes or on your notebook. How to measure the volume of a solid object, and then also what is the definition of water displacement. Okay, is everything clear? Okay, that's great. So since everyone is done copying, I will remove this one. Okay, so let us again read our topic for today. Do not forget measurements, length, mass, and volume. So now that everything is clear and you know when to measure and how to measure length, mass, and volume, and then also you also know the metric units, the properties, I am really glad that everyone are cooperating, and I must say that the three objectives that we had is that it was accomplished. It was well done. Okay, so let me remove this one. Goodbye, class. Until then, take care and goodbye.